What happens when a group reaches a level of international attention that its own fans believe should be impossible to ignore? That is the question now being asked by a'TIN. Because while SB19 is making history on international stages, another conversation is quietly getting louder inside the fandom. Some a'TIN are asking whether the team behind SB19 is doing enough to turn all this momentum into something much bigger. And at the exact same time, a'TIN are fighting for something that could make SB19 history once again. A fourth consecutive Billboard Fan Army Face-Off championship. So today, we need to talk about both sides of the story. The growing criticism surrounding 1Z Entertainment, and why a'TIN absolutely cannot afford to relax in the final hours of the Billboard battle. Let's start with the part that could become history. SB19 entered the 2026 Billboard Fan Army Face-Off as the reigning champions, with a'TIN already holding 3 consecutive victories. Billboard Philippines confirmed that those 3 wins put a'TIN level with Tierra's Queens for the most consecutive Fan Army Face-Off championships in the competition's history. That means this year is different. a'TIN are not simply defending a title. They are fighting for the chance to stand alone as the winningest consecutive fandom in Billboard Fan Army Face-Off history. A fourth victory would separate SB19 and a'TIN from that tie and give them the record outright. And that's why every vote matters. The 2026 competition began with 64 artists, bringing together some of the biggest names in global music. But a'TIN have survived round after round. And now, with the final closing on August 21st, the finish line is here. So if you're watching this and you're an a'TIN who has been voting every day, don't stop now. If you've been voting casually, increase your effort. And if you stopped because you saw SB19 leading and assumed the result was already secured, this is the worst possible moment to relax. Because online voting battles can change quickly. The objective isn't to look ahead at a percentage. The objective is to make sure SB19 has the strongest possible final result when Billboard closes the vote. And there is something beautiful about this particular battle. a'TIN have already shown that a Filipino fandom can compete with some of the largest fan communities in the world. Billboard itself has previously documented the extraordinary organization behind a'TIN, from coordinated campaigns to trending efforts and streaming support. So this isn't simply about clicking a voting button. It's another demonstration of the power of a global Filipino fan community. But here's where the story gets even more interesting. While a'TIN are helping SB19 dominate another international fan vote, some fans are asking a completely different question. Are a'TIN doing more marketing for SB19 than the company itself? That question sounds harsh, but look at the comments circulating among fans. One a'TIN argued that SB19 should seriously consider getting a stronger social media manager because, in their view, follower growth and viral performance aren't consistently matching the group's talent. Another fan questioned why the marketing around SB19's Japan activities didn't feel as strong as expected. And another pointed to something even bigger: SB19's international momentum. The argument is basically this. When SB19 has a huge performance, a major festival appearance, a viral moment, or an international breakthrough, there should already be a system waiting to capitalize on that attention. Because attention is temporary. A person can discover SB19 today and forget about them tomorrow. But if the right content appears at the right time, that person could become a follower, then a listener, then a concert attendee, then a customer, and eventually, perhaps, an a'TIN. That is what fans mean when they talk about converting momentum. And honestly, this criticism deserves to be discussed seriously, without turning it into an attack on 1Z. Because saying, 1Z needs to improve, is very different from saying, 1Z doesn't care about SB19. There is no evidence that the latter is true. In fact, 1Z has helped build SB19's independent identity and continues to manage the group's activities across music, performances, content, and branding. The more reasonable question is whether the operation needs to become bigger and more sophisticated as SB19 themselves become bigger. Because SB19 in 2026 is not the same SB19 from several years ago. The scale has changed. The international opportunities have changed. The expectations have changed. And perhaps the marketing system needs to change with them. Think about what has happened recently. SB19 have been pushing deeper into international territory. They have performed on major global stages. They have continued building their presence in Japan. Their music has reached audiences outside the Philippines. And Billboard recently highlighted their history-making Lollapalooza appearance and their determination to keep breaking barriers. That's an enormous amount of momentum. But momentum creates a responsibility. When thousands of new people encounter SB19, what happens next? Are they immediately given the best introduction to the group? Are their biggest performances clipped and distributed quickly? Are international viewers being guided toward the group's music? Are playlists and media outlets being activated? Are there enough interviews, short-form videos, behind-the-scenes moments, and easily accessible content for new fans to consume? Are merchandise opportunities easy enough for international A'TIN to access? These are the questions fans are asking. And one of the most important things to remember is that A'TIN themselves have already proven how valuable this kind of strategy can be. Billboard Philippines has reported on the huge role A'TIN play in SB19's growth. Spotify Asia has also highlighted how fan-powered campaigns around SB19 helped create global visibility and engagement. So when A'TIN say, "We need more," they're not necessarily asking for miracles. They're saying, "We know what this fandom can do when the right system is in place." Imagine what could happen if the industry's machinery matched that energy. And that's a powerful question, because perhaps the next stage of SB19's career isn't simply about getting bigger opportunities. It's about maximizing every opportunity they already receive. A festival appearance should not be just one performance. It should become hundreds of pieces of content. A viral clip should not disappear after one day. It should lead people toward the music. A major international appearance should not simply generate headlines. It should create new listeners, followers, subscribers, and eventually fans. That's the difference between creating a moment and building an empire. And I think that's what makes this conversation among A'TIN so fascinating. They aren't questioning whether SB19 have the talent. Nobody needs convincing anymore. The talent is there. The stage presence is there. The international opportunities are there. The fandom is there. The question is whether everything surrounding those things is moving fast enough. And perhaps this is actually a sign of how far SB19 have come. Years ago, fans were asking for opportunities. Now fans are asking whether the team is maximizing the opportunities that are already arriving. That's a very different problem. And it's a problem that many successful artists eventually face. Growth forces organizations to evolve. What worked for a smaller act may not work when that act becomes internationally recognized. The social media strategy has to evolve. The content strategy has to evolve. The marketing budget has to evolve. The international distribution strategy has to evolve. The merchandise operation has to evolve. The media relationships have to evolve. Everything has to scale. But there is one thing A'TIN should not do. They should not allow this conversation to divide the fandom. Constructive criticism can be useful. Constant fighting between fans and the company is not. The goal should be simple. Make SB19 bigger. Give them the infrastructure to maximize their potential. And keep supporting the 5 members. Because while this debate continues, there is still a trophy on the table. A'TIN have a chance to give SB19 something historic. 4 consecutive Billboard Fan Army Face-Off victories. A record. So A'TIN, vote. Don't assume somebody else will do it. Don't stop because you saw a comfortable lead. Don't wait until the final minutes. Use your eligible votes before the deadline and encourage fellow A'TIN to do the same. Because when the voting closes, nobody will care who was leading hours earlier. History will remember who won. And after that result, perhaps the next conversation should be even bigger. Not can SB19 become global? Because they are already proving that they can. The question should be, what happens when SB19's international momentum is matched by an equally powerful global marketing and distribution machine? Imagine that. A fandom that already knows how to mobilize. A group that continues to break international barriers. And a business operation capable of turning every major moment into sustained growth. That combination could be extremely powerful. So maybe A'TIN aren't really saying, 1Z, you're failing. Maybe they're saying something much more ambitious. We see how big SB19 can become. Please build the machine that matches them. And if that happens, the biggest winners won't be 1Z. They won't even be A'TIN. The biggest winners will be SB19, and the millions of people around the world who haven't discovered them yet. Now, before you leave, remember this: the fan army battle is closing today, August 21st. If you're eligible to vote, vote. If you've already voted, check whether you can vote again within Billboard's rules. And if you believe SB19 deserve that 4th consecutive championship, don't just watch the numbers. Help create them, because this time, A'TIN aren't fighting just to defend the crown. They're fighting to make history.